Now let's see how to build the Omnibus PingPong example in Node in the browser with StackBlitz. We have installed Omnibus RxJS and declared a new bus. We know this PingPong match begins with a ping, so we can call bus.triggerPing to put an event on the event bus. However, that did nothing because we didn't have any listeners. A spy is a simple listener which can log everything that it sees and will see our ping. Cool. In order to make this interesting, though, we're going to set this up as two players, one who listens to ping and does a pong, and one the other way around. So let's declare player 1. Player 1 listens for what? It listens on the bus for any event which is a ping, okay? And when it finds it, it's going to run a function. Now that function can simply do bus.triggerPong. Okay, listeners are started already when you call bus.listen. So we run this and we get an immediate pong. Of course, to play this game as intended, we don't want to trigger a pong right away. We want to trigger it after 1,000 milliseconds or 1 second. So we're going to have to do something. I think what we should do is return a unit of work that is the calling of the bus at that time. So we're going to use a utility called after, and we are going to say return after 1,000 milliseconds the calling of the function bus.trigger, and then we'll pass it pong. And this will work. This will get it done. We save that file, run it. Ping is followed by pong in 1,000 milliseconds. Sweet. Now we just need another player or listener, and we can get this to go on forever. And just for fun, we'll do it in a slightly different style. That is, you'll see the benefits of it. We'll say bus.listen, and the event we'll listen for is the pong event. Let's write that out. And when it comes in, we're simply going to resolve to the word ping after 1,000 milliseconds. And this gives us a handler that is entirely decoupled from the Omnibus framework. And that's how you might use this if you had an endpoint. Now the third argument here, you get to specify what you do with the events of that handler. So the event will produce a ping on the next event, and we can just intercept that and say now bus.trigger that event. Now we will run this, and we should see the pong go back to a ping, go back to a pong, and we're playing forever. Now this syntax is a little bit verbose, so there's a shortcut we can use, bus.observeAll, and it basically just listens to those events and retriggers whatever it sends. So we have the same behavior as before, a loop of ping and pong. Cool. Lastly, we want to actually terminate this game after 5,000 milliseconds. And so to do that, we'll say after 5,000 milliseconds, run a function. And the function should be player1.unsubscribe. If it's not listening, it shouldn't return pongs. Let's also put out a message that explains exactly what time we called unsubscribe. Player1 says bye. And now this is an observable that is not being returned from a function. And so the interesting thing is that this observable is not called at 5,000 milliseconds. We actually have to turn this one on. And to do so, we'll call subscribe on it. Omnibus calls subscribe internally. So now that we've done this at 5,000 milliseconds, right after the listener got a ping, it signs off and says goodbye. We'll talk more about the differences between promises and observables in the next episode. See you then.